if you take the Nigerian accent like this and you slow it down, you put a lot of slavery in there.
Facts.
And then you start to put a little bit of subservience in it. This is what starts to happen to the Nigerian accent.
Man.
First of all three of y'all speaking English.
Everybody involved is speaking English. Okay. And let's talk about who English sounds the most English, while you want to talk about colonization.
Come on. Second of all, skin bleaching is number one in Nigeria. It's a $1 billion industry. Skin bleaching, that means taking your beautiful melanated skin to an alabaster that is also causing disease. Number three, you may be Igbo and you know your name and all of that, but you're acting as if you weren't subservient and still are to the queen, to the crown. And again, he was sitting there with somebody who has called me out of my name, has lied, has misrepresented everything. And you know me, and I'm never going to respond tit for tat with it, because I'm like, yeah, you know why you're not where you are, and you know why you're not where you think you're supposed to be. But you don't have the character or the maturity as a 50-something-year-old man to actually be accountable for the things that you do and have enough grace to be like, I'm sorry that I did that. Because one thing I was always saying, don't put me in a situation where I can't save you. I said that dozens of times, and I got witnesses. But the point is that that person was sitting there co-signing this. When your whole platform has been about, coming for people, coming for black people, whether they're Indian or whatever,
and that's all I'm saying.
Now you know it's stick. Now you know it's stick. It is a performance, because you know that the pain point in this country, especially as it relates to blacks, is this kind of denigration of us.
What's your side of the story with Karen Hunter? Not to overtake your show, but I am curious.
I'll take my side of Wait.
How do you feel about Karen Hunter is what she's asking, I think.
I got fired by her. What's the big...
She fired him.
She fired me. So what?
I know, but she says that you were like, listen, I've watched you evolve.
No,
so
tell me what she said. Get to it.
She said you were extremely disrespectful to her.
How?
She said you called her a bitch.
I called her a bitch after she talked shit about me. You understand?
Okay.
So get the whole story, okay? Because I moved the fuck on. First of all, I'm not trying to be mad at you, but hold on. I've moved on. I never mentioned Karen.
Okay.
So people were telling me, they were coming at me, like people were sending me messages going, Karen is dogging you on her show. And I was like, well, she fired me. Why? And I didn't even answer. I just kept it moving about my business. And she was insulting me because I know people that are loyal that were telling me, yeah, Karen's saying this about you. I was like, wow, that sucks. And then I was like, hey, Karen, keep my name out your mouth. Like, you fired me. I moved on.
Yeah, back in this.
Godfrey finally addressed the Karen Hunter situation, the FBA backlash, and the David Oyelowo controversy on In Godfrey We Trust, and you can tell he is annoyed. This whole thing started with David Oyelowo's appearance on the 154 podcast. During the interview, Oyelowo was talking about accents and made a comment about the Black Southern accent that many people found disrespectful. That was a bad comment. There is no need to overcomplicate it. Black Southern speech is not some broken down version of an African accent. It is not a symbol of weakness. It is not subservient. It comes from history, survival, migration, and pain. So when Oyelowo said what he said, people were right to be offended. The problem for Godfrey is that he was sitting there when it happened. A lot of people felt Godfrey should have checked him in the moment. They expected him to stop the conversation and say, nah, you cannot describe Black Southern people like that.
And by the way, David Oyelowo has apologized, but British black people do not have a perspective of American blacks.
Even get it.
But the fact is that these mistakes need to happen so we can talk about it. So we can have people going, damn, I fucked up. I think David probably didn't mean it that way, but the British black experience is so different than the Black American experience. He probably was like, no, it's a little subservient. They don't know any better. A lot of them just don't know any better.
No,
You know, and I think it's good that people can listen. Hold up.
It definitely sounded like some white people shit. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
It was whack. But I said I'm sorry, but it definitely sounded like some white people shit. But you know, I get it.
But what I'm saying is, that's what. Where do you think they're colonized? It's colonial mentality. That's white people shit. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think people were responding because we appreciate the fact that, you know, although your heritage is Nigerian, listen, I've been through all the arguments with ex-boyfriend, Nigerian, the whole nine. So I understand.
Yeah, but I grew up. First of all, I grew up in Chicago.
We were a little surprised by your reaction.
I don't give a fuck what y'all were thinking because I didn't make him say that.
I didn't say it.
I didn't make him say that. So fuck all of that. Because you all sit there and try to pick at the smallest shit, waiting for us to fuck up. First of all, me and Akbar grew up in Crenshaw. All right, I grew up in Chicago, some of the blackest cities around. Chicago's the most segregated city in this country. So I know what black Americans are like because I was stopped by cops, harassed by cops, called nigga, the whole nine. Okay, so I'm a little bit different, but that show, what our show is, it's just 9-10 months. We're doing really well. It's needed. Nothing's gonna be perfect. So when someone goes, I didn't like your reaction, you're not my fucking parent, first off. And I'm the first person, if I fuck up, I'll go, man, my bad. But David said it. So to villainize me is bullshit. That's black shit, just trying to have something to bitch about. See, what we're doing is we're trying to work out our kinks. People are traumatized. Black Americans are traumatized. Caribbeans are traumatized. Africans are traumatized. Everybody's traumatized. Black women are traumatized. Black men are traumatized. So this is all coming from trauma, and this should be a therapeutic podcast.
Godfrey wants black unity. I understand that. Black people attacking each other all day does not solve anything. But unity cannot mean ignoring disrespect. If someone says something careless about black Americans from the South, people are allowed to call it out. At the same time, every mistake does not have to become permanent exile. Oyolowo apologized. Godfrey says he spoke to him privately. That should matter too. The bigger question is whether people involved actually learned anything from it. Because this is where Godfrey has to be careful. He is funny, smart, and usually good at breaking down cultural issues. But when people feel disrespected, they do not want to hear defensiveness first. They want to hear that the insult was understood. That is what this whole backlash is really about. Godfrey is defending his blackness. Karen Hunter is defending her critique. David Oyolowo is trying to clean up a bad comment. And black Americans from the South are tired of people treating their speech like a joke, a defect, or a performance choice.
We got to talk about these things, but to just go, I'm disappointed. None of you motherfuckers are my parent. None of you. Nobody's perfect talking shit to me. You do a podcast and do better then. But my thing is I'm doing this for the good of all of us to bridge a gap and all this, oh, you're a tether, you're a this, you can eat a dick. I'm just not talking to you, miss. I'm just saying in the general.
Okay,
but you can eat a dick for real. I'm a tether, I'm a this, all these terms for a bunch of traumatized black folk. It's like, first of all, I'm a very well-read man when it comes to black life, very well-read. I've done mounds of going to see the minister, a Savior's Day, all kinds of shit. I met Stokely Carmichael. I met Francis Cress Welsing. I met all these people. Did you? I can question a lot of people on that.
Listen, I was in college at the same time. Let me just say real quick.
You know what I mean? If we're gonna do a measure on blackness, I'll probably stomp most of you. It's not sensitivity. It ain't sensitivity. Don't fucking ever say that to me. Okay. It's not sensitivity. It's passion because I'm on point. I'm not here to make you like, don't try to play good guy like, you're getting sensitive. No, this is passionate shit. And I'm real about it. When people go, oh, you shouldn't have done, fuck all of that.
I know, but what I'm trying to tell you is you've been switching off, Godfrey. I wasn't.
What'd you say?
Like that. I'm telling you, you've always represented that.
Always, but then you get one little thing and you guys, as much as I speak up for black women, what do you think that does to me in this business when I'm speaking up for you guys? I speak up for you motherfuckers all the time. Most celebrities in Hollywood don't say a goddamn thing about y'all. And I'm always opening my mouth for you guys. I try my best. But I do one thing, you guys just go off. I get it.
All right.
Godfrey also spends a good part of the episode talking about Karen Hunter and why he has an issue with her. This part is important because it gives context to why he reacted so strongly.
You have to understand, you guys are probably still listening to Karen. All of us moved on. I wasn't talking about her. I didn't do none of that. And her whole thing about black unity, she's full of shit. She is full of shit.
She does her thing in the context of her thing.
Listen, but she's full of shit.
But interpersonally, there's a reason why she has a problem with everybody else.
Well, she tricked me, and how I got fired was some bullshit because I personally think my show was doing really well. It was and I know on the inside, motherfuckers was like, you was doing really well. They had to find something to get you on. And I knew on some inside shit, which I ain't gonna mention that person. And I was like, cool, because I was kicking ass. Because the week before she fired me, I went to an advertising meeting at Madison Square Garden. It was all the people that were going to sponsor me. And they said, well, what's your show about? I came in that room and it was awesome. I had them rolling, laughing, and then she fires me the next week. It was just weird. The chronology of what happened, I was like, wow. And so I remember getting off the train, coming from D.C., because I went to D.C. to cross-promote with Joe Madison, rest in peace, Joe Madison. Woke up early in the morning on my own to meet Joe Madison. Then I did Laura Coates' shit. And that's when the Laura Coates thing happened, where they kicked me off. But either way, I've said worse stuff. I didn't say anything crazy. I said exactly what I imitate people, and I got fired. And I was like, that was just real shady. But then I said, you know what? All right. And I just moved on, and I started doing Lord Jamar's thing with Raw Digger and doing my In Godfrey We Trust. I said, let me just go do that.
Godfrey's view is simple. He thinks Karen Hunter is using his name for attention. He also seems to believe she has a pattern of falling out with people she works with. That part of the podcast felt personal. You can tell Godfrey still feels wronged by what happened at Sirius. This is not only about David Oyelowo or FBA. Karen Hunter seems to represent something deeper for him. He feels like she damaged his career, talked down on him, and is now trying to act morally superior during this controversy.
And that's how the Steve Harvey stuff went viral. I was like, that was a blessing that she fired me. Because first of all, I don't like that corporate shit anyway. That's why I was very hesitant because a lot of comedians were being fired from SiriusXM anyway. So I was tired of that.
There's also a situation where there was this perception of radio is better than podcasting.
Yeah.
So anytime you called the show podcasting, she would get mad at this ain't podcasting, this radio, which ultimately now she has a podcast.
Now she has a podcast jumping off on my
There's a situation where
David Oyelowo's comment was wrong. Black Americans had a valid reason to be offended. Godfrey may have genuinely missed it in the moment. Godfrey also could have handled that aftermath more directly. Karen Hunter may have her own history with Godfrey, and the FBA conversation, even when it gets harsh, is coming from a real frustration about Black American erasure. That is why this topic is so heated. It's not only about one bad accent joke. It's about who gets to speak on Black American culture, who profits from Black American stories, who gets protected, and who is expected to stay quiet.